Hey, welcome to Rack City. I'm Raxy here. If you are new here, welcome. What's good with you? I dap you up, but I'm only got one hand. I'm using the other one to record. If you're not new here, what's good, my new? What's good? You back? You liked being here. Trust and believe. I love that you're here too, bro. Like, I just came from the store. I honestly am going to film a short form video soon. I just got to cut it up and edit it because I did not show any of what I did. I showed that I went to, I showed that I was preparing my shower. I showed that I was preparing to brush my teeth. I already showered and brushed my teeth. I just didn't show y'all that I went to the store. Because the store I went to, I was supposed to get a router. We went to the smaller version of the Walmart instead of the bigger one. So I couldn't get my router. I got to actually order it, or have it delivered for today. But however, it's getting dark and it was supposed to rain today. It ain't rain. I'm happy about that. But damn, bro, I don't know if it's gonna rain later on today or not, because I want to go get my food. I'm about to go get my Tijuana tacos from the cafeteria. I went to the store, bro. I got myself noodles because I've been craving noodles. I'm not on my period or anything. I don't know why I've been craving noodles more than real food, but that's a problem. I need to actually start eating real food again. I haven't only been eating noodles. I've been eating real food as well, but I haven't been craving it like I've been craving noodles. It's really been something else. But there's other stuff I wanted to talk to y'all about, bro. I could just talk to y'all about Sephiroth all day, but I don't know if y'all want to hear that. And if y'all don't want to hear that, you're ops. All of you are the opposition if you got a problem with me ranting about the things I love. It's my channel, the fuck. Like, if I want to talk about Final Fantasy, Remake, Rebirth, Sephiroth and his abs, I can, okay? It's whatever. It's whatever. He's a fictional character. Talking about real people like this is kind of weird. It's going to make me seem like a weirdo if I talk about a real dude like that. That's why I don't rant about how fine somebody is in real life. So talking about Sephiroth is just kind of easy. There's other dudes, though, that that other 2D men that I be on about. Talking about real men, though, it's going to make me seem like I'm a creep. I have had crushes, though, where I'm like, ooh. I told my friends, though, I don't know if I should tell you. Y'all probably going to be weirded out. Plus, they're graduated right now, so I can't even thirst over them. But I could talk about the Sephiroth, but I wanted to talk about some other things too, since I am a commentary channel as well as a day in my life channel, as well as a get ready with me channel, because that's what I rebranded my channel to be like. It's Rax City, Rax World, Raxy's Army. That's what y'all are, and I am Rax. So, since we did so many commentary videos, we're gonna talk about like the dramas that's been going on that I just have not addressed, mainly because I haven't been able to upload as much. I don't have my Wi-Fi router, so I can't upload as many videos as I would like. I have been filming videos every day of the first week of school, and I haven't been able to upload any of them. The only day I did not film was Friday, because that was when I was supposed to upload the damn compilation. A week in my life, first week of school after 7 months of not being here. You know what I mean? Just haven't been able to upload it. But this time, I'm gonna make sure I upload this video, because we're gonna be talking about a lot of good stuff. What are we talking about with Samyra getting backlash from an overweight comedian? Here's the thing. Why did I do like this? That's crazy. I follow Eezy. With Samyra, I have not known her as long as Eezy. But I know with Eezy has had problems with her own appearance. She's been a comedian, on the internet and all that. I found a lot of her content funny, and I have watched a lot of her, videos and stuff like that. They've been entertaining. However, I do gotta say, when it comes to her weight, and when it comes to like certain aspects of herself, her making a joke about it is not really too bad. It's when she can't read a room, or it's simply when it's no longer a joke, you actually might really hate yourself. That's what it shows in this situation. Samyra was talking about how there's not really, enough representation for overweight / fat or obese people, especially when it comes to the clothing industry. When it comes to fashion and everything, even though people are overweight or big, they don't want to just dress in dresses and shit. They don't want to always just wear some like, basic ass clothing. They want to be fashionable too. And yet a lot of these brands, these clothing brands, they don't make sizes that are big enough for a lot of overweight people. And Samyra was talking about that. And then she was also talking about how the world, America itself, does not accommodate their overweight residents. And when I why I say residents? They're overweight citizens. Oh my gosh. And you may be like, well, why should America have to? America's the reason why a lot of the citizens are overweight. our food is in many ways killing us. I'm not gonna lie. There's so many ingredients in our food. It's a laundry list of artificial ingredients or chemicals that's in American food compared to other countries. I mean, I'm not gonna act like America's not the only country that's putting stuff in their food that isn't the healthiest for us. But damn, we might be the biggest country to do this. Like, we might actually be the main country to put so many chemicals within our food to make them last longer, or to make them taste better, or to make them look better. You know what I mean? Like, America's the reason why there's so many overweight citizens here. Like, you know? So, of course, Samyra was talking about how are you as a country gonna make your residents bigger, but you're not going to accommodate for those bigger residents. Like, you have so many overweight / obese and people that live in this country, and yet the world is not fit for any of those overweight or obese people. It doesn't make any sense, you know? I understood what she was saying. However, she was mocked for this. And she's been had a fan base that hates her. Like, they bully Samyra for real. They hate her because they're fat phobic. A lot of these people are not just average weighted people that have never been big before. No, some of these people were big, but they never came to love themselves completely. So when they lost that weight, all they do is shit on their former selves, talking about how, oh, just big and gluttonous, just this, that, and the third, instead of understanding that what they lacked beforehand, they know better now, and all they wish is that they knew more knowledge back then. You know, a lot of people lack nutritional knowledge. And instead of you looking back at old pictures of yourself and being like, damn, if only she had knew more, you're more just like, that fat bitch, she was eating everything. You know, she had 12 tacos, she was eating this, that, and the third, or she was binge eating, or she was acting like not eating for a day was gonna accommodate for all the food she ate throughout the week. Like, oh my gosh, just big hefty bitch. Like, and it's like, damn, why are you speaking like this towards your former self? That's crazy. You have this much self-hatred for yourself? That's not good, baby. That's not healthy. So Samyra was mocked by Eezy. Eezy is a comedian. She was overweight, you know, and she lost some of her weight. She lost a good bit of it, yeah. However, it's like she can't read a room. Samyra's already getting bullied by like some of her fan base and stuff like that. Some of the people that hate her. So you add salt to the wound already. Not only this, Samyra was getting bullied so badly, Samyra's mom had to come on the internet to ask people to stop bullying her, and they bullied her mama. So it's like, for Eezy to come on here and to just make a mockery. She literally got a fat suit, literally dressed similar to Samyra, which is crazy because even with the fat suit on and with the clothes that she put over the fat suit, those clothes didn't even fit the fat suit. So it's kind of like, it's doing Samyra's points good. Like, it's literally proving her point. You know, the clothes and the world that is America, it doesn't accommodate its overweight citizens, but it creates its overweight citizens. You know what I mean? So yeah. Besides that thing, Eezy was wrong. That was very distasteful. Like, girl, you were overweight beforehand. The self-hatred that a lot of Americans who used to be big have for their former selves is insane. Like, child, you are not better just because you lost some of the weight. Some of y'all still eat the same fucking way, but you act like you're better because you have, less fat on your body now. You still eat like you're fat, like on some real shit, bro. Like, you don't have better nutritional knowledge now. You are not as better as you think you are. And just stop with the self-hatred shit. Like, bro, you used to be big, now you're not. You could be improving yourself and realizing that what you lacked back then, you have now. Thinking positively, but nah, y'all just hate yourselves, and that's the problem. We also could be talking about Kristy and Desmond Scott. Everybody's been talking about it. I followed them for years. Before I even knew, like, their videos for real, I saw pictures of them, and they look so much alike. If they weren't posed the way they were in that picture, I would have thought they were siblings. Like, not gonna hold you. They, down to the hair color, like, golly, bro. Skin tone, you know, I don't want to say their facial features are just alike. They're not really that alike. They look like they could be cousins, you know, on some real, if not siblings. So, like, you know, somebody was talking about looks compatibility. They mentioned that they look alike, and I was like, yeah, they do look alike. So I watched their videos. I do like how Kristy does her content, even though I know that sometimes she's annoying, or at times it could be too much. I understand that can be aggravating. Like, damn, I want to have a calm evening and my wife is over here terrorizing me. You know, she's in a fucking dinosaur suit and she's over here just fucking hitting me with her goddamn head, pretending like she's biting my head off. Like, what the fuck? That is annoying as hell. However, that is not a good reason to cheat. As a grown-ass man, you knew better. You knew better. But we should talk about more of that. Hold on. All right, I'm back. More on that though. He knew better. However, there was more details that came out, like how Kristy and Desmond were Jehovah Witnesses. I knew they were religious. You could tell they were religious. However, I didn't know they were that religious. Like, oh, you're Jehovah Witnesses? You're that religious? Oh no. I don't know. I even thought, I don't know that Jehovah Witnesses, whether or not they do arranged marriages, but it would make sense because highly religious families, the moment that they see you are interested in a boy, they just expect you to be with this boy for the rest of your life. Or I'm talking from a girl's perspective because I'm a lady. Like, you know, I was a little girl. I'm a young woman now. I'm a lady. So I'm talking from that perspective. But it can be vice versa for dudes too. Like, you know, your parents see you with this one girl and they're just like, oh yeah, you could be with her for the rest of your life. You know, it's going right along with God's will and everything. You know, what they preach about in the Bible. About from the Bible and in the Bible. You know what I mean? You could be with this person for the rest of your life. You don't have to sleep around with other people. You know, this is going right along with your religion. It's great. Fantastic. It doesn't matter that you're 14 or 15. Because that's when Kristy and Desmond Scott got together. 14 or 15 years old. You don't know life yet. You don't know yourself yet. Oh my gosh, bro. Quick story time. When I was 19, I remembered how my mom and dad mentioned the ages they were when they had us, or at least my eldest sibling. My mother was 19 and my father was like, I think 21, 22. When I hit 19, I knew damn well I would not be in a good mindset, emotional state, overall physical, financial state to raise a child, much less be married. You know, so it was crazy as fuck to hear that these two were together since 14 or 15, then they got married, had kids and everything. That's too long. Like, I'm not gonna hold you, bro. Like, you at 19, I knew I was not ready for certain stuff. Shit, at 15, honestly, it wasn't that I knew, it's just I wasn't that interested anyway. But at 19, that's when I knew I wasn't that interested in stuff. So imagine being 14 or 15, you're paired together by your families are Jehovah Witnesses and everything. You're expected to stay together for the rest of your lives. With a Jehovah Witness, the only way you can divorce is if infidelity or adultery is happening. You know, that's the only, they're not the same thing. I don't know why I said infidelity or adultery. You get what I mean. If those happen, you know, then that's the way you can divorce without being shunned. Because if you divorce any other reason, you will be shunned. Like, you'll be shunned so bad, your baby's got to ignore you. Like, how can my child that I pushed out my body ignore me? I don't know. That's crazy, but that's their religion. That's the group they're part of. Crazy work, right? But you know, of course, if you're a Jehovah's Witness, you would understand. So it doesn't sound that crazy to you because you grew up with these rules. But however, to everybody outside, it's crazy as fuck. But like I was saying, like, you know, at 19, I knew what I wanted and what I didn't want. I knew what I could handle, what I couldn't handle. Having a kid at 19, crazy work. Being married at 19 or any age younger than that, crazy work. I'm 23 right now. No. Kids, marriage, I'm good off that. I have goals that would make those things optional. You know, my goals that I want to achieve in my life, they're so high in, like, you know, my mindset. You know, they're so high in the chart of things I need to do in my life to where romance is optional. Sexual stuff is optional. Like, you know, I got more important stuff to do with my life, to be honest with you. The things I need to do versus the things I want to do. I want romance, you know, I want to experience sexual stuff and all that, but that's not something I need to do right now. So imagine being 14-year-old Kristy or 14-year-old Desmond and your parents are pairing you together and you like each other, yeah. However, you don't know if y'all want to be married for real. Like, you know, it's one of those things where you're kind of expected. And so we're in the future. And Desmond and Kristy are getting a divorce. Now, you can see it in their videos. Throughout their videos, I really enjoy their content. I'm not going to act as if, you know, I didn't see the cracks with them. The cracks between, basically, with Kristy being annoying and Desmond faking his laugh. You know, I honestly didn't mind either of them too much. I did mind Desmond's laugh. And with Kristy, I was like, damn, how does she have enough time to do this? Like, what is their jobs? Like, on some real, what is their jobs? How do they have enough time to do this? You know, that's my thought process on it, but I did thoroughly enjoy their content. However, as time went on, You could tell they bicker. They're a real couple. They're gonna bicker. They're gonna argue. They're gonna have problems with each other. However, for it to end the way it did with Desmond cheating, and then finding out that the way he cheated was like the best alternative for their divorce, because otherwise, seeing as how they're Jehovah's Witnesses, they would have never been able to divorce. And how Desmond said in his statement, which a lot of people found arrogant, and for me, I could see how you find it arrogant, but on some real stuff, that's low-key probably the truth, where he said, I want a divorce. And Kristy probably didn't want a divorce. And honestly, they probably wouldn't have been able to divorce without being shunned by everybody in their community. With Jehovah's Witnesses, what I've been seeing and hearing and everything, your friends are like also other Jehovah's Witnesses. Your family, Jehovah's Witnesses. You're basically around a lot of Jehovah's Witnesses. That's the main people you're allowed to be around. Everybody else is kind of like iffy. You could be friendly, but they can't be too close, at least in some Jehovah's Witnesses families and stuff like that, for some of those rules. So I'm like, shunned by everybody I've ever known is crazy, all because I know that the one I married is not the one for me anymore. Crazy work. So when Desmond went to her for a divorce, she was like, no, because realistically speaking, it probably wouldn't have worked out too well. So him cheating was like, it's low-key the only way, if the Jehovah's Witness theory is true. Because I know the Jehovah's Witnesses, I just don't know how much of the rules they uphold to their household. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know how many of the rules that Desmond and Kristy Scott follow, but if they are those type of religious, if they're really religious like that, then yeah, the only way they would have divorced was by the cheating. A lot of people thought Desmond Scott was gay, you know. I'm gonna be honest here. My shit, do I say unpopular opinion? Unpopular opinion? I don't know why people think that Desmond Scott's the only one that looks gay. Like, y'all think he's gay because he looks gay. Why does Kristy not look gay to y'all? How does Kristy not look gay to y'all? Y'all only think Desmond Scott is gay because he looks gay? Does Kristy not look like she's into girls? Like, I'm not gonna hold you. I'm starting to think y'all don't have the same eyesight. Y'all need my glasses, bro. They both kind of look like they're in a lavender marriage. I'm not gonna hold you. I'm not gonna hold you. They look like they're low-key in a lavender marriage, honestly. You know, I know they're not in a lavender marriage, but I'm like, how is it that Desmond is the only one that looks gay to y'all? Have y'all, like, do y'all not see Kristy too? Like, low-key, she look like she getting the ladies. Like, I'm not gonna hold you. But even so, saying that they are gay because they look gay is fucked up. Like, you know, and they're going off his laugh being high-pitched and feminine. The internet really likes when men act the opposite of what they are. Like, I'm not gonna lie, men get a lot of traction off of pretending like they're more feminine, especially black men, because it plays into racism and the overall, you know, emasculating of black men and how, you know, black men in a dress. If you ever heard that topic, there's a whole discussion that a lot of comedians and regular people have about black men in a dress for entertainment and everything like that. This kind of plays into it. Black men acting more feminine for some reason gets more views and everything. It's more entertaining to the public eye. So him having that high-pitched voice was probably something he played into because he knew it would get more viewership. If he laughed like a dude, it probably wouldn't have got as much traction. But if he laughs dramatically and more like a woman, it's probably going to get more views and everything, you know? Not saying like that's 1,000% what it was, but that's my theory. Besides all that, what else do I gotta say on this aspect of things? Oh yeah, what was leading into that? Sorry, it just went into a whole nother tangent and everything. In fact, not sorry, this is my channel. Y'all just hearing me talk. The air was on. It came on beforehand. Y'all, whatever. But anyways, what I was leading to, a lot of y'all think he's gay. He was tongue kissing, making out for 30 whole seconds with this random woman nobody knows, only for y'all to find her out in less than a few hours. Oh my gosh, can y'all solve some of these cold cases in the first 48 or whatever? These people missing, can y'all find them? Y'all quick to find a person on the internet off of just like a random drama. Can y'all find these missing individuals in the world? Because my goodness, bro. Damn, like all we saw was the back of her head. They instantly found who Desmond Scott was kissing. Damn, like y'all are fast, bro. I can't, y'all are quick as hell. Like, geez, y'all really ain't got shit better to do. It's crazy. They commented how the woman has a strong face. The jawline is strong. They said she looked like a transvestite. Crazy work. Y'all, damn, like, We just saw this woman, bro, and y'all just saying like she looks trans. Like, oh, this just proves further that Desmond is gay, but he don't like to be told that he's gay. He don't like to have these theories that he's gay, so he's trying to prove to the world that he actually is straight and that he cheated on Kristy with a woman, which is even worse because I'm like, dude, the ink ain't dry on the paper yet, and you're proving to the world that you're a straight man who cheats on his wife with only straight women, like with only women, with only cisgender women. You're a straight man who cheats on his wife with only cisgender women. That's basically what you did. Also, that the internet knows that you're not gay or anything like that. If anything, this just makes you look even more gay to the public eye. You can't convince people of shit. If they want to believe something, they'll believe it, no matter what. If they believe you gay, it don't matter what the hell you do. They're just gonna think you're making out with a woman to try to prove that you're not gay when it's not doing the thing you're trying to prove. Like, it's like, that's what the fuck people are gonna think. That's the internet for you. Kristy confirmed that she kept the same house. Desmond liked the post. Petty as fuck. It's the beginning of 2026. Why are we starting off with some petty ass drama like this? Like, and the thing that makes it worse is I don't know why their divorce is just so huge. I didn't realize how big of like creators they were. Like, I knew they were big creators on TikTok. I just didn't know it was like people were really looking forward to their couple and everything. For me, I enjoyed their content, but it's not like I idolized their couple. Like, they're cool and all. Like, you know, it was fun seeing them. But y'all act like y'all devoted your life to them. Like, geez, man. Like, they just make content. Like, that's really it. I didn't know y'all idolized their coupling. Y'all only see them make comedy videos. You don't see their actual relationship. So I don't know how you idolized something you barely saw. Like, you barely saw their real relationship outside of them doing these videos for real. Like, yeah, they have some YouTube videos, but they don't really show too much of how they actually act, you know, when it's just them. So I'm like, how are you? I looked down. I didn't know what I hit. That was my room. But I'm like, how are y'all idolizing these two? Like, what? How are y'all shocked that they got divorced? For me, I personally wasn't shocked because honestly, 2025, a lot of stuff has happened. I'm not shocked about much of anything anymore. Like, at this point, I feel like more divorces are coming. I just don't know which ones. The only shocking part is exactly which ones and how fast they did it. With Kristy and Desmond Scott, the most shocking thing is that they did it like as soon as the year started. Like, I'm like, God damn, bro. But you find out that they were actually going to divorce each other like at the very end, like December 30th type of end. Like, golly, after Christmas? Before New Year's? Like, that's crazy, bro. That's crazy. But it's just how fast they divorced for me. I wasn't shocked that they divorced at all. Like I said, I'm not really shocked about much of anything. And them divorcing made sense. I saw their content. Bro, they were getting tired of each other. Kristy can be annoying and Desmond fakes his laugh. You know? And it's all, like I said, the emasculation of men. A lot of people think that Desmond was jealous, and it goes into line with a lot of men who are jealous of the success of their you know, wives or the, you know, sisters or mothers or loved ones and stuff like that. And for me, Desmond is a chef. I thought he was a professional chef. I actually thought that was the main job they had before Kristy even did social media. I thought that's what they were working off the income of. But I guess not. You know, Desmond being jealous of Kristy, I don't see how that makes sense. Seeing as how sometimes Desmond doesn't even seem like he wants to be in the public eye. Like, you know, it would make more sense if he was jealous of Kristy being huge and making money, you know, because he also wanted to be in the public eye. But no, he don't want to be in the public eye. He's a chef. He likes doing what he does. I believe he makes a good bit of money because he's good at cooking, like, you know. But no, people still think that he actually is jealous of Kristy, you know. And for me, I'm like, I could see how he would be jealous of Kristy over the years, I guess. But I don't even see it as mainly a jealousy. I see it more as an irritation, because it's like, how long are we going to do this until we no longer have to do this anymore? Like, when are we going to retire? That's what I thought Desmond was looking annoyed at. Like, you know, kind of like, are you going to do this forever, or are we just going to like retire after a certain amount of money that you make? That's what I thought Desmond was having the expressions of. Like, he's tired of this shit, you know? And with Kristy being annoying, a lot of people are saying that that's the main reason why he probably divorced her. And for me, that's not a good enough reason to divorce or cheat on anybody. She divorced him. Why I keep saying divorce? Cheat. That they said Kristy being annoying is the main reason why he cheated. I mean, I just say that's a terrible reason to cheat on somebody. You know, shit reason to cheat on somebody. The fuck, like, yeah, you could counter as annoying, but I can say the only one that should be annoyed by him is Desmond, because should be annoyed by her is Desmond. See, I need to go eat my food. I'm just talking up a storm. My bad. My bad to myself. Y'all are fine. My bad to myself and a little bit to y'all, okay? I'm just talking up a storm here. But yeah, Kristy being annoying, the only one who should find her annoying is Desmond, because Desmond is the one who has to basically, you know, be in these videos and be around her as she's doing these like skits and stuff like that. But it's scripted and all rehearsed, most of it at least. Some of it does not seem like it's rehearsed, like talking about. Some of it did seem like real emotion bled through into the video. Bled through into the video. I don't know why I didn't speak right there. But yeah, I didn't find Kristy that annoying. I like a lady with humor. A lot of good looking people do not have like humor. They don't have much personality. I'm not gonna hold you, because they're so used to being looked at for their appearance that they don't get time to shine through their personality. They don't get time to show how funny or quirky or cool they are. They're just used to people fawning over how good they look. And it's understandable that since their currency low-key is their face, or since their way into getting into social gatherings or getting into certain events is just by showing up and looking good, they don't have to use their personality. They don't have to show it to people. And to be honest with you, your personality is personal to you. You low-key, if you don't want to show your personality, you don't have to. But it is nice to see a very good looking lady show her personality and have fun with her family. You know, I feel like the people who have the most fun probably are her kids, in all honesty, because some of the pranks are kind of just, I would say they would be seen as childish and stuff. So I find that the kids will probably enjoy that a bit more rather than Desmond. However, you don't want to show your kids too much online. So I actually understand why she doesn't prank her kids or show her kids too much online, because online is not a good place to be showing children. Like, not at all. So it's understandable why she showed Desmond more, because you would rather see her husband than her kids. Like, that's a good thing she didn't show her kids, like talking about in their reactions too much. So yeah. I think that's it. Yeah, I talked so long. Like, girl, like, just had a lot to say, didn't I? Like, oh my gosh, thank y'all for hearing me out on this. I'm about to go get my Tijuana tacos. I'm about to go eat. Num num, eat it up. I love it. I'm about to go eat. I thought about making my noodles, but I literally can't make them in my dorm because I don't have my microwave. So it's like, you know. So yeah, I'm just gonna upload this video while I'm in the cafeteria. I'm gonna combine these two videos together. I'll have enough time to, you know. So that's it, that's all, and may peace be with you for an eternity. May your lives be fruitful and filled with so many blessings. May you have a great life. Love y'all. Bye.